because it is after 7:15. I apologize. I'm having some technical difficulties tonight, as you can probably tell. Hopefully next Thursday I will not have this issue. Been trying to do stuff more in my basement, so you guys can kind of see what kind of crazy stuff that I do when I'm not at camp. But tonight we're going to be talking about supplements, the good, the bad, and the unnecessary. So I'm waiting for a few people to connect. We're going to have a little conversation about just some basic supplements, the things that you really don't need, and of course, the things that are unnecessary. So the things that, when I say unnecessary, I'm talking about the things that you're kind of sold on. Okay, so I'm going to hopefully clarify a few of those things for you guys tonight. Unfortunately, I have to hold my phone tonight. I was really hoping to use my whiteboard, but like I said, technical difficulties. So I'll just make do with what I've got. So like I said, if you guys have any questions about anything, more difficulty, please let me know. Okay, so any questions that you have regarding anything that we're going to talk about. So I really want to go over, just first start off on a positive note. We're going to talk about the good stuff, then we'll go to the bad stuff, and then we're going to talk about the unnecessary stuff. And like I said, the unnecessary stuff is going to be things that you really don't need, that you're more sold on, that are not, it's not sustainable. Okay. So if you guys are there, please say hello. I'd love to see who's online with me tonight. Thumbs up, heart, just say hello. Just tell me who's there. I'd love to talk to you guys. So like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know. But otherwise, we're going to get to it. During this live, I'm going to be asking you guys a question. Hey, Kayla. And for those of you who are online, if you, the first person to, hey, Kelly. Oh, thanks, and hey, Linnea. I'm going to be asking you guys a skill testing question, sort of halfway through my live here. So, and what you can actually, what did I do with it? Here it is. What you can actually do with it, or what you actually get, tonight I'm going to give you guys a choice. All right, so you either get a pink shaker. I actually have some blue ones, so if you guys would prefer a blue one, I totally have that. I'm not really a pink person. Purple, but not pink. All right. And then, of course, we have the bag. The bag is awesome. Let me tell you, I bring it to the gym all the time. Not this gym, obviously, but when I'm out and about, it's a lovely little bag. It's got lots of pockets and all that kind of stuff. You have the Batman one? Yeah, I have Batman, Deadpool, what else? The Flash. I have pretty much all of them except Wonder Woman. And this pink one. I don't know. I like superheroes. Deadpool all the way, right? Anyway, so let's get to it. So let's see here. I've got some notes. So if you guys have questions, again, like I said, I'm pretty candid, as you guys kind of know. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chantel. Chantel Glesman. I am the head trainer over at South Edmonton Fit Body Boot Camp. I realize that that is definitely backwards, and I'm hoping live is going to change that. There's been some really cool stuff that's happening with live, so guys, stay tuned with me in the next couple of weeks. Canada is a little on the slow side, but we're going to be having some really cool interviews in the next coming weeks. In addition to that, I'm hoping to poach some of the trainers and do sort of a one-on-one with them, just kind of getting to know them, especially for the new people who are new to us, and you're like, who the hell is Sheena, or who's Chantel, or who's Shelly, or who's Lindsay, and Trevor, and Diane, and everybody out at Innisfil. So I'm hoping in the next coming weeks to kind of start a series where I can actually interview them for you guys. So we'll kind of see, so stay tuned for that. All right, so let's get to it. Oh, hair's a little crazy today, it's a little poofy, just did the purple thing. We'll see how that goes. But we're going to talk about supplements. So the good, the bad, and the unnecessary. All right. So let's just talk about the good. Like I said, we're going to start off on a positive note here. When we talk about supplements, we're talking about things that are maybe a little bit more than food. All right. So to be really clear on this one, guys, food is always, always going to be the best go-to. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. You guys, food is medicine. I believe that wholeheartedly. I have my raw foods chef certification. Some of you guys know that. And I learned a lot. Food is absolutely medicine. It also attributes to your moods, your stress levels, all those kinds of things. So things like the more processed your foods are, the more stress that your body actually induces. So if you think about that, we already have pretty stressful lives. We're just kind of adding to that a lot of the time. But we're just going to talk about things that we have questions about all the time. So things like, okay, well, I'm really sore after boot camp, or, you know, I'm getting there at like 6:30 for class and I'm hurting, you know, I'm tired. What can I do? Okay, defective bench. I guess I'll just lean back. Anyway, so what can I do for the recovery? So BCAAs are almost always our go-to for something like that. Just because I'm just like that. You kind of hit that wall halfway through your workout, or you just get to camp and you're like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? You always manage to, you always do, but sometimes you just need a little bit of extra to get through there. And we talk about BCAAs to you guys, so branched chain amino acids. All right, so these are recovery tools to help your body. So these are amino acids that will help repair, give you a little bit extra energy as well. They help with immunity, and a lot of people actually don't really use them for that, but I can tell you right honestly, I have really bad gut health, and the days that I'm not using my BCAAs, I can actually really tell. So when I say BCAAs, I'm talking about something like this. This is one of my very favorite brands, Nutribolics. I realize that it is backwards. If you guys need a link or any information on this, please let me know. The place I love to go is Guaranteed Nutrition. Again, I know it's backwards, but that's their brand. They have several locations. They have one out in the West End, South Side. And I'm actually going to be interviewing Iram, who is the owner of Guaranteed Nutrition, who has a sports science background education. So in the couple of weeks that we're going to be doing some of the interviews, once this live broadcast, I'm going to get him on here so that you guys can ask some questions. All right, so that's what we're talking about with BCAAs. If you guys have questions specifically about the item, please let me know. If not, I'm just going to kind of keep this moving. All right. So I'm going to have a little sip of water here. Oh, also water, not a supplement, kind of an essential thing. You're made of it. All right. We've talked about water in lots of other lives. It'll probably be coming up in the next couple weeks again, just on the importance of water. And I know we all hear it. You hear it on, well, everything, right? Your doctor tells you, your wife, your husband, your daughter, whoever, they all tell you, right? Whether you do it or not is a whole other thing, because you're not necessarily making that connection all the time. But I swear I'm one of the most hydrated people I know. I just carry that thing around with me all the time. It's 1.5 liters. And I know if I have 2 or 3 of those, I'm probably good for the day. So let's move on to the next supplement that I want to talk about tonight, which will be protein. All right. So protein, especially when we're lifting weights and stuff like that, they don't have to be heavy weights or anything like that. But when you're feeling that soreness, a lot of that is coming from sort of a ripping and tearing of your muscles. All right. So and that's just how muscle is built. It's just the way it is. I don't want to really go into all of that kind of stuff, but you need a source of repair. So right after your boot camp, you've pulled all the weight, you've done everything, you go home, you don't eat for 2 hours. Guess what? It's not a waste, but your body needed something to repair within a short period of time. So the first thing it's going to go for is your lean muscle stores. Why? Because your fat is going to protect your body. Your body doesn't really care about how much lean muscle you have. It cares about how much fat you have, because long term, fight or flight, that's what it's going to go to. So it's going to burn that lean muscle that you've worked so hard in class to build, and use it as fuel to repair your body. Okay, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. There's a lot of science, of course, to that. But at the end of the day, within an hour to max 90 minutes after your workout, you guys should be ingesting some sort of a high density protein. All right, and that's why we often recommend protein powders, right? Just a protein shake right after camp. My go-to is always doing half protein shake before my workout, half after, because I don't like working out on a full stomach. But I definitely need that energy. And it's a lot easier to be processed through your body when it doesn't have like solid food, right? So again, food is always going to be the go-to. I still believe that protein is mostly food, even though it has been very processed, blah, blah, blah. There's so many different kinds of proteins out there though, guys. So the most important thing is this is your body, so what you're putting into it should be of some sort of quality, okay? So if you're killing yourself at the gym and doing all this kind of stuff, and then you go and you buy the crappy brand at Walmart or whatever, and I'm not saying that they're not good, I'm just saying like if it's just on sale and it's just one of those things and you haven't really looked into it, please take the time, guys. Don't waste your money, all right? The other thing is don't buy things like chocolate cherry cheesecake. I can pretty much almost guarantee you it's going to be disgusting. Things like that never taste like what they say. So sticking with like sort of a vanilla or a chocolate, and you want to look for a New Zealand whey. So when I say New Zealand whey, it's because New Zealand does not allow hormones in their raised cattle. So the stuff in your milk and all of that has so many hormones, all that kind of stuff, which is why we never, especially at Fit Body, we never promote drinking milk by any means. There's just way too much crap versus any kind of goodness that might be in it. But the New Zealand whey is, of course, a derivative of lactate or lactose, whatever you want to call it, or milk derivatives, right? But so there's no hormones in it. Okay, so that's really important for you guys. Again, if you're spending the money, ingesting it, and you're trying to repair your body, you know, spend the extra couple bucks. You don't have to buy the $85 giant tub of protein or anything like that, but there's some really good ones out there. And I'll show you one that it's really, honestly, it's a go-to for me. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's Kaizen Whey. I always buy vanilla because I can always add my chocolate. I add raw cacao to it, so it's raw chocolate, so it's unprocessed. But this is my go-to. Actually, Rick just went to the store just a few minutes ago to Sobeys. They have it on sale for $23. It mixes really well. It's really light and fluffy. It doesn't give you that chunky. And if you guys have had protein powders like that, you know how disgusting it is. So sometimes you really do get what you pay for, but sometimes you don't really have to spend all of that money on that. Okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. Kayla. The BCAAs, or even which protein. So BCAAs, the more simple the product, the better. All right. So again, like this is the Nutribolics that I use, but, and again, you probably can't see this, but if you look, there are very few ingredients on here. There's no nutritional value, so you don't have to ever put it in MyFitnessPal. However, caveat to that, there is a protein powder, or pardon me, a BCAA powder, so branched chain amino acid recovery, that I know Sheena and I believe Colleen Martin was using over at West, and it actually has protein in it, which is actually pretty cool, but you do actually want to put that into MyFitnessPal. So you kind of keep in mind what's actually in your BCAAs. You don't need protein in it, but it's kind of like a nice, I don't know, it's just a nice bonus, especially when you're looking for recovery, right? Thanks, Steve. All right, so any questions regarding protein and BCAAs? Nope. All right. Okay, let's see what I got here. All right. So I'm just going off some notes here. So if you guys have any questions, just feel free to make comments or whatever. But yeah, so we went through all the stuff with protein powders and the BCAAs. So now I'm going to go over what I call the bad, okay? And bad and unnecessary are two different things, all right? And I'm just going to really touch on one thing that is very touted in sort of the bodybuilding fitness supplement industry is, of course, a fat burner. We've all heard of it. It all sounds wonderful. Why wouldn't we? So I can eat all my cheesecake or all the bacon or whatever, right? So I will tell you right now, it is too good to be true. It's not a thing, all right? In all of this stuff, guys, you have to remember, is this sustainable for the rest of my life? Can I do this forever? Okay, so this is not your 2-week diet. This is not a 21-day fix where you're jamming food into containers or you're going on crazy diets where you're restricting calories to 1,000 calories a day. This is not that, okay? We're trying to make sure that this is sustainable for you guys long term. Regardless of the day, the week, the month, all of that kind of stuff, or what's going on in your life. This has to be sustainable for you, all right? So there's no cookie cutter diet that's always going to be perfect for everyone. That's why there's a billion diets out there, right? There's something appeals to somebody else. This is going to work for me. This is going to work for me, whatever. But guys, it has to be sustainable. And that's what we teach here at FitBody, all right? Kayla, it'll just say, where's the protein? For the protein, it actually says the cleanest protein, and it'll say New Zealand whey right on it. All right. So, and it doesn't matter if it's Kaizen or whatever, the product will actually tout New Zealand. All right. So at this point, it's the only place that you can get it without the hormones. All right. So we're going to talk about fat burners. All right. So we've heard all about it, the natural ones, the 2-week diet, you're going to lose 15 pounds if you take 15 pills a day and all that kind of stuff. And I'm really here to tell you guys that that is not going to work for you. Oh, thanks. Oh, did you get it for 23?
26.63.
26.63 at Sobeys. Thanks, honey. That's pretty awesome. Honestly, it makes sense, right? Like a tub of protein like that should last you probably 3 to 4 weeks if you're having a protein shake a day. All right. You're welcome, Kayla. Back to fat burners. I don't really want to dwell on it because I don't really want this to be a negative post. I just, honestly, guys, just stay away from them. They're not sustainable. They're not really going to do really anything for you in a long-term basis, maybe in a short term, but the long-term effects and damage that can actually do to your body, not worth it. I'm totally serious. It can mess with your metabolism. It messes with your heart rate. It messes with your core temperature. It messes with your adrenals, all of which are essential for everyday life. Your adrenals are super important for you guys, your stresses and all of that. Like we talked about stresses earlier, we can't get away from it. And the more that we're adding to it, the worse it's going to be, right? So we're kind of done with the bad. So I kind of just want to leave it at that. Fat burners. If you guys want more information, please let me know. Hey, Dee Dee. All good. Yeah, it really is it's a lovely tasting brand, the Kaizen. It's so easy to mix, even with just water. Like if you're just dumping in a scoop after your boot camp or whatever, and you're just, all good, right? All right. So if there's any questions regarding that, oh no, it froze. Am I back? Please tell me I'm back. Live viewers when they join video. I don't think this is working. Okay, is this working, guys? Sorry, I don't know. Kayla said it froze. We've been having actual issues with our internet today, and I'm actually on LTE, so I hope it's not an issue. Can you guys say hello if you're there? I can't tell right now.